Be sure to go to flipsidegaming.com and use promo code 6 for 10% off on orders over $10. Do the same with the Grizzly Gentleman, 10% off at checkout on your fantastic beard products. Or you could shop via the TCG Player affiliate link in the description down below to help support the show. And last but of course not least, you can go to Grey Viking Games with the affiliate link below to pillage some sweet arena codes. What is up, Planeswalkers 36, back for more Magic the Gathering, and it as usual, Wednesday, which means it's Bolas Day, but I wanted to talk really briefly about this sick art. I really like that Wizards is using Arena to promote their upcoming sets, and I think this is an interesting way to do it. Show very splashy art. I assume this is not going to be the art of a card. Excuse me, the art of a card. Cool. I'm just going to keep looking. I'm sorry. Just based on a number of factors. But, you know, if Wizards doesn't elect to make this into like a playmat or something, they're losing money. What's interesting is that this is a Hydra. Now, I don't know a ton about Norse mythology, but if you do, let me know if there is any prominent Hydras, because we might be seeing a legendary creature here. Anyway, we're playing Bolas. But as you know by the title, we're playing Bolas Midrange. Been on a bit of a mid-range kick, and this was a deck submitted by a commenter, and I've forgotten the name, and I forgot to pull them up. So they will, I'm sure, comment on this video, and I'll go ahead and give them a heart on the channel. But yeah, the point of this deck essentially is to utilize a more black-red base that is, mid-range oriented, that happens to utilize some Bolas for the top end. We're running 25 lands, and we are running a nice Young Pyromancer package, considering we have 16 total instants of sorceries, and that is not counting the 4 that we have from Bonecrusher Giant, making it 20. We can utilize Young Pyromancer as an aggressive and passive threat while we kind of take advantage of the board. We have a sideboard, and I should mention that I did modify two things. Yes, I modified 2 things about the deck as presented, because I played a little bit of this on stream, and I took out 2 main deck Aether snares, the 2 mana red or green thing to put into Bloodchief's Thirst, and I took out Soul Guide Lanterns for Grafdigger's Cage. My main reason for the former change is because traditional start ranked, Bolas mid. It puts a sour taste in my mouth to have a sideboard hate in the main deck. You'll notice I do have Cling to Dust still in here, but that isn't just graveyard hate, right? I can use that for any purpose. Delicious. Yeah. Let's play first. This is a fine hand. We are probably, since we play first, we go get a red source. And then turn 3, we can play a Kroxa. Can play a spot of Kroxa. Merfolk. Okay. If I'm gonna grab a red source here. Here we play with a block source. Do this. Get rid of that. Sure. Turn 3, we thirst and possibly Cling to Dust. Silver Gill showing me sneak. Sure. We got a main phase thirst. This, I mean, they're both functionally identical. I'll hit that, I suppose. But I can do Cling to Dust things at instant speed. I can Cling my own thing to draw more, or I can just Cling one of their things to gain more life, which is most likely what I plan on doing here. Then we can follow up with a Nikki B Ravager. River Sneck. Sure. And I'll just consume for some life. I'm going to use my Fabled Passage here. Get a Swamp. I don't need double blue for anything, so I'll just play this out. Now we have a nice blocker. Our opponent loses another card. Although, I mean, technically they can play... Oops, I got rid of it. Technically they could play a Trickster from hand. Never mind. Well, they still could. Whenever another Merfolk enters the battlefield gets... Okay. Yeah, we still have a decent blocker here. Regery... Eh. This mana is making me sad. Thing is, Regery is almost certainly just going to tap this down. But I guess I'm going to make them. Because if I don't, right, they theoretically could just untap lands and play even more Merfolk. Awkward. They had 3 of those in their top 13. Unfortunate. Another sneak. Playing another. Don't tell me you're playing another. All right. Bedevil. Can Bedevil the Regery, I guess. They play one thing, I die. They got a whiff. They didn't whiff. Okay. So I definitely want Fatal Pushes. The Eliminates are great. The Cries are great. The Aetherborn is great. Duress I don't really need. Negate I also don't really want, nor do I want Disdainful Strokes. Even though, like, they are playing CoCo, I don't think I can justify bringing in a card that is only good against that. Same with the Grafdigger's Cage. We're going to take these out, because they are essentially slow. Can this kill? Destroy target creature with converted mana? Yeah, so this kills everything we want. Young Peasy's fine. I think we maybe get rid of Kroxa. I'm fine with the Cling to Dust still as well. Maybe get rid of the Kroxa. Do we like Sharon here? Sharon's like 4 mana destroy 1 creature, so I don't think I like Sharon. Maybe we get rid of 1 Young Peasy. Sure, this is possibly fine. Who knows? It's decent. Turn 1, turn 2, turn 3, turn 4. Especially since they mulliganed. Let's see. I think this is what I want to kill. It messes up their curve. Which means I can actually play this tapped. Play that just fine. I'll play this as a blue source. Then I can Thoughtseize and eliminate. Take the card that they can cast. Do this. Even if I don't draw land, depending on how they play, I can just Inscription them. Darn. Well, I did draw land, so this is also fine. We'll grab a... We have no double blue needs. I think we're just going to grab a red source. Play Nikki B #1. Now, I believe the main way they win here is by a CoCo. But, luckily, we were able to disrupt them sufficiently to get their goat, as it were. I think we could just run it back. We have a push. So this needs to get red. And then we can't necessarily play the Cry. But we do have push. Bonecrusher Giant. Yeah, I think this is fine. feel like I do have to play the Fabled Passage here. Okay. So this is something I would like to push. Oh, you know what? No, I didn't have to. I could have played... I could have played the Swamp. Because I could push a 2-drop. No. This is still correct. Alright. Maybe actually just grab the Cry here. Like, just grab a Swamp. No, grab the Mountain. Yeah, cool. And I believe to be economical, I should use a Bonecrusher Giant. The question is, should I do it now? And I think the answer is yes. Yeah, I'm going to just kill it now. There's not much more value, right? I don't think I gain all that much by waiting. Now, Regery, sure, ow. Okay, so this turn I can do this. I can Bonecrush Giant. Stop it. I can Bonecrush Giant the Regery and hold up Fatal Push. Because it's not technically worth killing this just yet. So I assume this is going to be a collected company. Interesting. I think what I'm going to do is play Young Pyromancer and hold up the Fabled Passage to Fatal Push whatever they get out of the thing. That does technically make my Cry worse, but if I plan on just like surviving, right, then I think it's fine. I shouldn't actually do that. Okay, that's resolves. What do you grab? Taking them a while, so I assume they have options. Skoos. Skoos is very interesting. I took out my Kroxa. The Skoos can get larger, but I don't know if I'm too worried about it. I think the correct thing to do is just kill the Mistbinder. Right now, the Skoos can eat one thing, so it can get larger. But I do have a Bedevil. Alright, now I can eat two things. Dum dum. It still eats a Bedevil, so this is fine. Miscloak Herald, I don't care too much about, just dies to Cry. Another Miscloak Herald, that's fine. That's a mistake. He can only eat two things, so Skoos is still gonna die. He might think like, oh, I get rid of his Pyromancer. But the thing is, I plan on wiping his board here. Unless he has if he has another collected company, I do think this is a good play. But if he doesn't, I don't think this is a good play. Wait, why did I think this would work? Ignore me, please! It's still fine. I have a Bolas. I'm gonna play at the Bolas. The Skoos can hit me, and these two can hit me, so I'd be taking minimum 4, 5, 6 damage next turn. Do you use my Cling to Dust? Okay, that's fine. I don't know why I'm stupid, but I'm very stupid. No, I'm good, thanks. Okay, so the plan is to kill the Skoos. That's fine. I don't have the Kroxas anymore. So I really do not care about what's in my graveyard. Absolutely fine. Oh, he hasn't even eaten my Young Pyromancer. Yeah, let's go ahead and Bedevil this. See if he eats my Pyromancer. That's the correct decision. I don't think he knew about, I don't think I cast the Inscription, but I do think it's correct to do. Now, why would he eat his own cards? I guess maybe he can save his Scoop? No, okay, he's just going to go for the rest of mine. I think that's reasonable. Okay, he eats one of his own cards. I don't know if I agree with that. Especially if he has another Skoos in his library. This was a mistake. I should have technically attacked first. I'm not going to attack now, because my opponent could have flashed in a Merfolk thing, whose name I'm forgetting right now. Okay, I have a Thoughtseize that I'm not going to cast. Eight would put him to 9. Would put him dead if he hasn't stoned nothing. What's the worst that could happen if he plays? I guess the worst is like end of turn he plays a company, gets 2 lords, one of which is a Regery. He top decks another company and plays it and gets more stuff, but I think that's like low percentage, so I would rather do this. I could have Thoughtseize there, but I don't think, yeah, I didn't think it mattered. I didn't think that, I didn't think that was something that would occur. By the way, up on the second channel, I'm going to have some Hades gameplay. Excuse me. So if you want to see me play some Hades, be sure to head over to my second channel. Always linked in the description. My opponent choosing who goes first. Yeah, I mean, this hand's fine. Would absolutely love another land in this hand, but the fact that my opponent is Lurrus deck, we have a Cling is nice, we have a Abrade to kill things. Like, I'm pretty confident, especially considering my opponent did mulligan. But you know, if we can get a Pyromancer out on turn 2 and just start going through my opponent's stuff, that'd be quite nice. We're gonna play this tapped because, like, I would rather, like, I don't think I'm gonna need to kill. Okay, I'm going to need to kill this actually. Yeah, that has to die. Enters tapped, and we push. That cannot live. Kroxa. Sack it, I assume. Yep. I am gonna drop the inscription here. Yeah, I'll drop the Inscription. Okay, so we'll play Young Pyromancer. And we are holding up Cling to Dust. Another Kroxa. I think we just get rid of the swamp, honestly. Does he sack it again? He does, of course. Got both of them in the top 11 cards. Ridiculous. Now he has 2 Kroxas. I think it's honestly just better to get rid of the village rights and draw an additional card. Could be incorrect, but... Okay, I do assume he's going to take the Giant. Interesting. Okay. I can activate Cling to Dust. No, I can't. Oh, yes, I can. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and do this. I'm going to grab my island. I'm going to use a Cling to Dust, targeting village rights. Getting rid of these. Trigger my Pyromancer. Okay. Sure. I will get rid of an Abrade. And honestly, I think I am just going to shoot my opponent in the face and play my Bonecrusher Giant. We are probably boned, but that's what we got them cages for. Although my opponent is playing Bedevils, so. A lot of people call this deck a mid-range deck, and I don't know if I agree. Like, I understand the reason people call it a mid-range deck. I just don't know if I agree. Bad card. I can triple block here, but... Okay, I need to draw Nicol bolts. I will chump. There's a Young Pyromancer. It was not great. Do have another chump, though. I have enough mana for Inscription. Scourge, sure. They claim so that has haste, so that they can then Bloodchief's Thirst my Pyromancer. don't think there's anything we can grab now. Nope. Okay. We like more Fatal Pushes. We like more Eliminates. They do just kill Kroxa. We like the cages. I mean, we probably like the Duresses. Hmm. Destroy our creature. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I would be lying if I said I liked this hand. But I'd also be lying if I said I wasn't going to keep it. Play Young Peasy on 2. On turn 3, we play another Young Peasy. Hopefully, and Duress. Oh, okay, so Flare. That's fine, I suppose. I do have a Cling to Dust, just in case. I guess I should be going after the Kroxas more aggressively. They're going to claim the first... No, Fatal Push, that's fine. Village Rights, yup. Alright, so we have to consume the Kroxa as much as we don't want to, especially since we don't have... another land. Oh, we didn't have to do that. They're only on 3. I'm bad. I'm a bad player, guys. I should have... Honestly, I should have just Cling to Dust something else. I assume they Duress me? They will likely take my Bloodchief's Thirst. Because my Duress does relatively little. I am surprised and afraid of that. Remember, children, don't do what I do. Don't keep 2 landers. Never didn't have it. And he's going to Village Rights my Bonecrusher Giant, isn't he? I've said it before and I'll say it again. I think Claim the Firstborn should be banned. And this is the exact reason why. It means that like you can't play creatures that are small. I mean, like 3 CMC is high. Like 3 CMC isn't some, you know, it's not like only a few decks play 3 CMC things. A lot of decks play 3 CMCs. If it was like 2 or less, probably be fine. But I mean, I shouldn't have kept a 2-lander, but still. So we're going back to the deck. I took out Chandra a lot because I felt like I felt like she would never do enough. Honestly, I would consider running no Chandras and more of something else, possibly even a board wipe, most likely Extinction Event. With Young Pyromancer out, Extinction Event on odds leaves me with a decent board, and if I have to, Extinction Event on evens is fine. Being able to exile things is quite nice. I felt like with Chandra I never needed her. Yeah, I mean, the thing is, I'm essentially echoing what I've said in other historic mid-range videos. Other than, I suppose, the deck that is able to constantly recast their removal because of the fact that they are doing nonsense. The answers just aren't great because the threats are so great. And I think that rings true here. This is a deck that wants to essentially kind of 1-for-1 with your opponent, right? They play a thing, you destroy it. They have a card in your hand that you don't like, you take it with a single card. Sure, technically the idea is that you can get your 2-for-1s in with your Pyromancers, Kroxa, Giant, Bolas, and even like the Planeswalkers. But when their game plan is to constantly be getting like 2-for-1s and stuff, I think then it just makes the deck a little weak. I mean, for removal, right, we have 2 Bloodchief's Thirst, 2 Fatal Push, 2 Abrades, 2 Inscription of Ruin, essentially 4 Bonecrusher Giants, 2 Bedevils, essentially 2 Chandras, and essentially 3 Bolases. There's a lot of removal. We have Thoughtseize as targeted discard. We also have Kroxa, Inscription, and Nicol Bolas as non-targeted discard. We've got Cling to Dust, which can give us some life, it can draw some cards, and it can deal with the graveyard. You have to be smart about it. I think, for what it's worth, I do think I misused my Cling to Dust in those games. You know, Pyromancer is a nice way to kind of continue to roll the game. You turn your 1-for-1s into 2-for-1s, even though they're just 1/1 elementals, you can use those to great effect. The idea with Kroxa, obviously, is you fill up your graveyard by just 1-for-1ing, and then boom, you get a Kroxa back. But considering we have an equal amount of Cling to Dust and Kroxa, it kind of means that, like, if we need it, we're going to be using Cling to Dust first, and if we draw Kroxa later, then we can't use it. Inscription of Ruin can, theoretically, get back a Young PZ or a Kroxa. It can force your opponent to discard, and it can just destroy one of the things. And sometimes we get up to 7 mana, and we can do this. For what it's worth, I was close to getting rid of this, but I couldn't think of what I wanted, like what I wanted to actively replace it with, so I kept it back in. Bonecrusher Giant is a great card. It really is a great card. Unfortunately, great doesn't go to these days. Bedevil is essentially a catch-all answer. Chandra, I already talked about her. Nicol Bolas, he's great. Discard. He's a creature, can block things, theoretically, can attack things, theoretically. And then Nikki B is Nikki B. This is the mana base. I modified it slightly. It's technically a little bit better. I mean, out of our sideboard, it's pretty typical. We got 2 Duress against the control or special decks. 2 more Fatal Push against any aggro deck. 2 Grafdigger's Cage against graveyard decks and potentially goblin decks. 2 Disdainful Strokes against things that need it. 1 Negate against decks that need it. 2 more Eliminates against a lot of the field, because a lot of it's super aggro. 2 Gifted Aetherborn against a lot of the field, because a lot of it's super aggro. And 2 Cry the Canarium against a lot of the field, because a lot of it's super aggro. I liked it more when I was playing it on stream. It's possible I just got favorable matchups there. There's more to explore. Bolas may not be a Bolas deck, or Bolas video still every Wednesday, but it might be a lot more different takes on Bolas to see what I like the most. Next time, honestly, I might go back to an Esper Bolas and see if that helps us. Or just, pray to the dark gods and all that. I'd like to obviously remind you that I have a PO box. Send me stuff, I'll open it on camera. I'd like to thank my lovely patrons for their continued support. If you'd like to join them and support the show, you'll find links in the description down below. Do of course hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, like, comment, subscribe, all of that good stuff. And of course, until next time, all will be one.